a little bit of a break. It is time for the greatest tokusatsu podcast ever. It is Toku time.
When did we get Goldar? Where did Nathan go?
I know, right? Come on, give us back the power.
Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Oh. I love this cover.
I'm just sitting here reading a book. I can't hear the cover.
That cover is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song. It's an instrumental cover by the Objectivist guitarist. Go find them on YouTube. They have great stuff. Alright, everybody! This episode... okay, before we get into it, before we get into the episode, I want to take a brief moment for a moment of silence for Miss Mana Kinjo. She was an actress in Kishiryu Sentai Ryu Soldier. She was Tatsui Ui.
Yeah.
And she passed away on the 1st of December. So,
25.
Real quick moment of silence.
Hard to believe.
All right. It's always sad to hear about the passing of of an actor or actress that starred in tokusatsu. Our thoughts, our thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to their families and friends. It's never easy dealing with the lost loved one. But enough of that.
I just hate the fact that our last episode we talked about someone dying. This next episode, someone dies. Like, oh god, no!
I know.
Another reason.
I know. So this episode right here. This episode is gonna make or break our fans. This episode right here is gonna probably warrant a ton, and I mean a ton of hate. But you know what? That's what happens sometimes. You win some, you lose some, and given my mood, I'm feeling frisky enough to shoulder that hate. So the subject of today's episode is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and why it is not the best Power Rangers series out there. Yeah, save your booze until... You know what, just bring the booze. I don't care.
All of the booze.
So
sure you are 21 and older before you drink the booze.
So Crimson Talon has already heard my rants.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't think you guys have, so buckle up. It's gonna be a rant, and I promise I won't hog.
You'll never hear the end of him. I'm warning you guys now.
No. I promise.
Yeah,
I promise that I will not hog up all the airtime. But
I was just saying you never stop about the ranting.
No, I will never stop. I will always have something to rant about. So this episode is why Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is not the best Power Rangers series. And this is something that has been a debate topic of many Toku fans. You have a lot of diehard Power Ranger fans that you know they hold Mighty Morphin Power Rangers up on this gigantic pedestal, and they revere it as just the greatest. It's got the greatest theme song, the greatest casting, the greatest this, the greatest that, blah, 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 blah. You hear everything. And I want to dissect it, really, but there's not enough time to just go and dissect it. So I'm just going to go into the main points as to why I think it's not. I think we, and when I say we, I mean Power Ranger fans, Toku fans in general. I believe we revere it as I think we hold it up to the standard as we do because it was the first. Because it was the first Power Rangers, it was the first of its kind of the series. It was the turning point of American superhero television. Um, it was just it was the first. It was the first, and so a lot of people think it's because it's the first, it's the greatest.
But
Look,
it wasn't.
right. Look, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say that it wasn't good. In fact, it's in my top 3.
Oh yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
we all love fucking Mighty Morphin. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I even started
Right.
watching. And
My top 3. My top 3 is Dino Thunder, Mighty Morphin, and SPD. And that's a really close thing because SPD still has its moments. But when I say Mighty Morphin, I'm saying Mighty Morphin as a whole. All 3 seasons before it turns into Zeo. And
Or Alien Rangers.
yeah.
Are we counting Alien Rangers as Mighty Morphin? Because
Yes,
it's called
we are.
Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers.
Yes. Well, it's still part
Yeah,
of the
it's
Mighty
still
Morphin Power Rangers. I still
Like season 3.5 or something.
more or less.
that's why
Yeah,
Mike's
it's
still considered
It's in that
a
area.
red.
It's a whole other episode right there.
And here, I think, okay, so because it's the first, a lot of people hold it up there, and it's just not, like, even comparing it, especially even comparing it to its Super Sentai counterpart, Jew Ranger. The story for Jew Ranger is just way better. But even Jew Ranger isn't the best Sentai, period. Like, it's good, but I would far from say it's the best Sentai. So, you know, that being said, it's I think fans, the problem is we have these nostalgia goggles and we refuse to take them off, and all the credit to the actors really, um like from Austin St. John to JDF to David Yost, Walter, all of them, even when they brought in Steve and Johnny Young Bosch, and I can't ever remember her name who plays Aisha. I can't.
Oh,
Karen Ashley.
Steve, like from
Thank you.
Blue's Clues?
Thank you.
Karen Ashley.
Thank
I
you.
will never forget her name because I met her in person and she was just like the sweetest person ever. And I
Right,
didn't
she
used to
really
remember
is.
her name, but after that like interaction, I'm like, I'll always remember you. You're the best ever. Like she
Right.
was just so.
But like I said, all credit where credit is due to them, for real. But all that. I will never blame the actors. I will never blame the actors for a series failing. I will never blame the actors for a movie failing. It's always about writing, and I just feel like while Mighty Morphin Power Rangers had amazing writing, there are just better Power Rangers series that had deeper, darker, more story, more emotional story. But with it being the first of its kind, that's also almost an unfair comparison in the sense that it's like this is the first, and they're working with it, and this is new, and all this kind of stuff. And that's another reason though, because it was so new. That I just think because now over time they've been able to. There's still a lot of hit and misses. Looking at you,
Yeah.
Operation Overdrive. There's still a lot
That's
of
a whole
hit.
other episode because I have my own thoughts and opinions on that you guys are gonna hate me for.
Never hate. Never. Everybody, an opinion is an opinion, whether you like it or you're not. I will always respect it. And I imagine there are going to be people like, wow, unfollow or unsubscribing to this YouTube channel. And then there are other people like they're probably going to be. Yeah, there are probably going to be other people like, oh, finally, some people with some common sense. But I mean, it is what it is. Opinions are opinions. Another thing is, I feel like another factor is people just hold JDF up to this superstar standpoint. And all credit where credit is due. Once again, the man's a fantastic martial artist. He's a philanthropist. He does all these
basically Batman.
He does all he does all these charities and stuff like that. The dude is a legend, and he deserves the clout that he has. But Jason Frank should not be a selling point gimmick to make a Power Rangers series good.
I agree. I'm a massive fan of Jason David Frank. Like, I have, like, when I was little, I made, like, a memorial. That sounds like he's dead.
Yeah, let's say.
You made a shrine.
Pretty much. I have, like, a collage of, like, all his Zords and stuff. All of his suits. But that was from, like, Down Under onwards. Backwards. Like, trust me, I'm, like, a huge Jason David Frank fan. I do agree that they do use him as more of a gimmick nowadays than because he's been in like almost every team up,
exactly,
other than the newest one.
Exactly. Why have we turned him into a selling point? Why? Because they know that older fans still have the nostalgia goggles, and they refuse to take them off. And so it's like, hey, let's sell toys. Let's sell the show. Let's put Jason David Frank in there for a single special, and we'll get our ratings boosted. Even if the special was a little bit lackluster. Megaforce.
Don't start me on that.
That's going to be its own episode. Buckle up, guys, because episode 10, we're going on Megaforce, Super Megaforce, and it will probably be a multiple hour-long episode. We're not shortening it. We're going to get everything out and lay it on the table. And whether people, we're going to destroy our credibility in that episode if we haven't done so in this one. But I will say this. What I have been enjoying right now with Power Rangers is the fact that JDF is doing his own thing now, and we're seeing him a lot less. That means he is definitely being used less as a draw gimmick, which means the next time he comes into a Power Ranger series, it won't feel, hopefully, like Lord it's Draken, just a gimmick. Look, if we get Lord Draken, I will freaking... I will dance up and down.
Use him as a gimmick. Make him technically a different person.
I will strip naked and do a backflip. Like if they ever bring in Lord Draken, I'll strip naked and do a backflip. But
here, folks.
I can't even do a backflip. I'll figure out how to do a backflip. But
make a pulley system and edit it to where it looks like you did a backflip.
I'll just Photoshop my head on like a video of somebody doing a backflip. But like it'll be like I'll make it like a video of like my gigantic head on like somebody's like tiny body. That way it's super disproportionate.
Or like a female gymnastic person.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna Photoshop your head on Kimberly Hart's body when she does a backflip.
Oh freaking! You know, I was joking with a friend at work the other day. It's like, you know, Mighty Morphin Power. Another thing about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Nobody at all. Nobody. Kimberly Hart. Cartwheel.
I mean,
but no. I mean, if you go back and watch them, you'll see that I'm right. But that's not even me. That's not even me like disrespecting it. That's just me. That's just actually a joke for joke purposes.
If you can poke fun at the only way you can poke fun at a show is if you love it. My opinion.
Tell that to Star Wars fans. That to Star Wars. Okay, stop booing,
That's a different podcast, man. That's a different podcast.
I will make my own Star Wars podcast. But
I'll join it.
But anyway, so yeah, like it just the nostalgia goggles. It just gets annoying, man. And you know, like every time it becomes a point when it's like you got these toxic Gen 1 or Power Ranger fans, and you know, a new show comes out, especially Beast Morphers, man. I have seen so much hate on Beast Morphers, and Beast Morphers isn't bad. It's good.
I just wanted to say, so this is going to be a spoiler for technically the episode that hasn't come out yet, but it's clips from like different places have. I loved the connection that they did with the past Rangers and stuff. Like they made like the random like will Vengex come back that happened at RPM. That was like 2 deals ago. That was back when they're owned by Disney still.
Mm-hmm.
And like they made it come to fruition. Like they I actually used that word correct. I actually said that word correctly too, and I'm happy about that too. So they actually brought that in, and like even though it's not the same voice actor who did Vengex, which is like the one little thing I have a nitpick about, but that's just me and I'm weird. But I love that connection, 100%. I loved that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is technically a spoiler because they posted that whole clip as a trailer on their Twitter account.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, you know, every time a new Power Rangers comes out, and I will admit, look, I will definitely admit my faults. I used to be this fan. Whenever I was younger, this was before I really explored into Power Rangers a lot more. I had only watched the older series, so I really wasn't watching the new series. I didn't give them a chance. It's not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It doesn't have the original cast. It doesn't have Jason Frank. All this kind of stuff. And now that I've watched the series, I can say this, though, that, you know, that kind of mentality that when a new Power Ranger comes out and it's not Mighty Morphin, that's so stupid and it's asinine. It just really is. Because, you're right. Exactly. It's not. It absolutely isn't, and it's never going to be, and it was never meant to be. Mighty Morphin was its own show, and I feel like it's, to quote Star Wars, it's time to let go. Let the past die. We can hold on to Mighty Morphin, and we can remember them, and we can go back and we can watch the shows, just like every season's on Netflix right now. You know, but it's time to let go.
Yeah.
And allow and accept there to be other Power Ranger shows, and to allow yourself to enjoy them.
Yeah.
Start giving me in space nostalgia or something.
They're
like
right. Like
something that I loved in the Ninja Steel crossover is they actually made other people show up and do more than 5 lines. And that's it.
In Space was awesome, but
Space was good. I agree.
In Space and Lost Galaxy. Oh my God, Lost Galaxy.
If they're gonna do nostalgia, they need to start doing it for newer generations.
Yeah.
It's like they need to realize that it's a generational thing that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
That, you know.
Bring up more like Dino Thunder or like Ninja Storm.
Right, and we've got these new generation fans whose first Power Rangers was Dino Thunder or Mystic Force or Ninja Storm, and you know,
Super Mega Force.
Yeah. It's
like a sigh, and then yes, but that is true. Like
that's fine.
I don't know if you guys talked about on podcast.
God, just saying that, I think my appendix ruptured.
But you know, that could have been their first series. That could have been their introduction to.
I know, and I'm gonna stop myself from going into toxic fan mode.
Yeah, because I think it would be a great introduction. You get to see that, even though they don't do as much as Go Kaiju, you still get to see like, what are all these other Rangers? And then you go on freaking Netflix, and you got all of them.
Yeah,
I have to say that I do love that they did bring in a Jungle Fury actor who was in the Disney era. I did appreciate that.
One thing that was cool though about Megaforce and Super Megaforce is we finally got the Die Ranger suits, which was pretty great.
Yeah.
Even though we already technically had a Die Ranger suit since the beginning in the White Ranger, but I digress. But yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna personally stop. I'm going to personally stop and let you guys talk because I've ranted and raved, and I've said enough that's going to go ahead and bury us, so I'm just going to let you guys add more dirt.
And more dirt? Right. A shovel.
But, because honestly, like, we could do, like, I mean, once again, we could do several hours just talking about this subject. But I'm going to let you guys have your piece. as far as this subject, and I want to give the floor to Wade first. I want to give the floor to Wade first because lately on TikTok, Wade has been dealing with a lot more of the Gen 1ers, and so Wade, I'm gonna open it up to you, bud.
All right.
Let me mute my mic.
I'll mute myself.
All right. So honestly, something that I would like to bring up is the fact that tokusatsu has been influenced in our culture as much as we influence in Japanese culture for years before even getting, what we have is Mighty Morphin. We even had things like Star Rangers and stuff like that was only shown in California. We had Godzilla, whatever have you. That's all tokusatsu stuff. But Power Rangers was the first to hit, the first to go, but it wasn't gonna be the first. It could have been Bioman, it could have been Jetman. We could have ended up with anything, and then people would have still viewed it as the best because it was the first. Nostalgia, like we've already talked about, that's going to happen. I think too many people view Mighty Morphin as a guideline of what Power Rangers should be instead of seeing that Power Rangers could be more and not just be the same thing, cookie cutter, of what we already had in the past. We do too much with that with movies and stuff nowadays anyway. We just reboot them instead of accepting change. And even as a fandom, like he was talking about hate comments I got and stuff, if it's not Mighty Morphin, then it doesn't matter. Everything else is stupid. But what's stupid about it? There's still plenty of people that think that Power Rangers is stupid and you shouldn't be into it because you're grown up or whatever, but whatever. It's the past. Power Rangers is still going. There's still plenty of things to be into. It's its own genre. That's what I always try to explain with tokuslats and things like that, is that tokusatsu is its own genre. I hate viewing it as here's Power Rangers, here's Tokusatsu, Super Sentai, and all this other stuff, because it's a genre for what we're already watching. I don't know. I think that's what annoys me the most is that because I grew up with Mighty Morphin and got into other things, that I started to look around and find more things about Tokusatsu. And I don't know. Everybody else just kind of wants to shut the doors right after Mighty Morphin.
Tokusatsu, aka Japanese Power Rangers.
Yeah, Japanese Power Rangers. Yeah. Oh man, we need to do a whole episode about Akiba Ranger.
Oh please, for love of God, please.
Yes.
I'll watch the show just for that. I haven't seen whole episodes yet. I'll watch it fully just for that.
Oh man, you got to at least watch one episode of Akiba Ranger.
Get him out of here.
No, because there are Super Sentai series that I haven't watched, especially the Showa era. So I'm not even going to jump on that.
I was saying until he watches an episode. You kind of cut me off, Eddie.
I mean, yeah. No.
That's what I meant.
Well, I just got brought on as an actual host, and now I have to leave to go watch a show. That's not fair.
I mean, that's the price you have to pay.
I still need to watch season 2. I only watched a part of it.
Oh God, season 2. Oh, shit.
It starts off really good too. I'm just gonna rewatch.
Akiba Ranger was not meant for kids, and I'm glad.
That's another thing. It's just such a big thing, a big part of Japanese culture, that even though it's for kids, they still recognize that they have older fans that grew up with it and are into it and stuff like that. We don't do that here. We just sell, Mighty Morphin collectible toys and things like that, which is all right, but we don't really, And at least there's things like I will give JDF credit for the fact that he's trying to do White Dragon and stuff, because I feel like he's trying to get that audience.
The build up for it is really good.
And I donated to that.
Yeah, I actually did too. I didn't donate on a level that would allow me to technically earn anything as far as a reward goes, but because the White Dragon mini-series or movie, I think they actually got enough to do a full-length film. That in itself is going to be good. The way JDF sold freaking Shattered Grid, That was a trailer for a comic book. A comic book.
Oh, loves that trailer.
Comic book.
Copied
That
that
was
trailer
a
to make some
trailer.
TikTok videos.
It was a trailer for a comic book, and
it should have been a movie.
God, if it had been a movie, I would have opening night, freaking. I would have decked out in the 9, full on Ranger gear, just everything. Stuff like that. That right there. Those projects that JDF is working on are they're great. I'm looking forward to them. And that is an example of, because me and Drew talked about this, or me and Crimson Talon talked about this in the last episode. Hi, my name is Nathan. Anyway, so we had talked about it in the last episode, and it was the potential future of Power Rangers, because the rumors are circulating that Hasbro and Toei are cutting ties, and we're going to see less Super Sentai footage and more of our own footage, which is kind of interesting because it's going to allow us to be able to develop something of our own. That way, Power Rangers ends up not being just an adaptation of Super Sentai, but does eventually evolve into its own thing. And there we got a new guy in Hasbro who's looking to create a quote-unquote cinematic universe tying in movies and TV together.
I'm excited for that.
And I feel like this is kind of opening the door and paving a way that we would be able to get things in the canon like Shattered Grid or Legend of the White Dragon. So, with that being said, I need my older Power Ranger fans to listen that this is an opportunity for your voices to be heard, but do not drown out the voices of the younger generation.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Please don't do it.
They are
the great
just
thing
as much
about
as
Shattered
fans as
Grid.
we are.
The great thing about Shattered Grid, I mean, comics are awesome because they're they're a little bit more adult and stuff. But Shattered Grid involves the entire Morphin Grid. You get to see all the different teams. I think that they could even do more of the comics and go off of doing an SPD comic and stuff. I would read
They
it.
plan I know they did Soul of the Dragon, and they had a little bit of SPD in there. They could definitely bounce off of that and a whole comic series off of that.
Yes, it just shows that we have the creativity. So if Toei and Hasbro do cut ties, this I do not feel like it will be the end, because I've seen a lot of comments on different videos, Wade's videos, my videos, Tyr Archimus's videos, where it's like, is this the end of the Power Rangers as we know it? And my answer to that is no.
This is not the last. This is not Power Rangers: The Last Ranger. We need to make sure that's clear. This isn't the end. It's just a new beginning.
Exactly. But continuing on with our subject, Wade, if you've said your piece, Daring Heart Cosplay, Crimson Talon, aka Bestie, what do you got to say?
Not gonna lie, I've been reading Lore Olympus this whole time.
I've been eating cake. What of it?
There's not really much I can say. Wade has said much of it, and I haven't seen much of what y'all are talking about, because one, I don't show that I'm into Power Rangers as much as I used to, because, well, it's been I guess you could say, a dying fandom. It only gets revived by the Gen 1ers, like you said, and they just, pardon language, shit on all the other ones. My all-time favorite will always be Wild Force, but people hate on that one.
I mean, it sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Don't.
I was gonna come after you, Wade.
I'm just kidding.
What are you gonna say next? The mobile car? I just
wanted to make you laugh.
Like,
I was
okay,
not expecting that.
all right,
was
we're gonna talk about this real fast. I saw
I'm
this
sorry.
thing
It's actually
on
I actually think it was pretty good. I didn't watch it much, but I did think it was pretty good.
I saw it. It was good.
Wild Force had like one of the best. Wild Force had like one of the best. Uh,
Mixed Rangers.
Well, yes, but he was also their master, their their Zordon, their main guy,
Yeah, because he
Adult.
was there from the beginning.
right.
Adult.
Yeah, they're adult.
Adult.
But
Any adult vision to pilot this giant robot.
oh, but he was oh god, he was so great, and I freaking that is one thing I want like for Christmas or my birthday or something. If somebody comes up and says, "Hey man, here's the Wild Force Wolf Morpher."
Oh God, I want that too.
You want, he wants the growl phone. I want the lunar Q.
Oh man, I had a chance to get both of those.
Wait a second, I may actually have gotten confused. Hold on.
Are you thinking about the Jungle Fury?
I'm thinking
one?
Jungle Fury. God bless it.
I had that. It was a great morpher.
God.
Okay, all right, hold on.
Quote-unquote
It's
release.
still my turn. There's another one. Everybody hates on Jungle Fury.
It was so good.
Like that was like one of the main ones I grew up with. Like Jungle Fury
But-
and like Mystic Force are like two.
The reason-
and
the reason
Operation
they
Overdrive.
hate-
That's a whole different episode. But
The reason they hate on Jungle Fury is because of how laid back RJ was and how he wasn't super serious until he became a ranger because he didn't need to be serious. He's a surfer for crying out loud.
I think the biggest issue that I did have with Jungle Fury only was the fact that like their morphers were sunglasses, and I was like, okay, so they're just gonna Horatio Kane themselves into their suits, and then you had RJ who had the freaking wolf brace, which was awesome.
Well, here's what's funnier about that Geku Ranger. The little pads they have on the front of the suits, those black and orange ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their Morphin Geku Ranger. They literally pound their fists together and transform. I was like, what?
It's cool though. It is cool though. Like I think that's cool. But no, Wild Force.
like tie them all together because the White Ranger, I cannot actually act the person's name. I'm very sorry. Everybody's gonna hate me.
I can do
Everybody had like.
Forget.
I know it's like.
Hold on.
Either one, just the White Ranger from Jungle Fury in general. They all had like some sort of hand-based.
Oh yeah,
morpher.
he had like the freaking Power Ranger dual disc from it was the guy it's from Jungle Fury, the White Rhino. Yeah, he had like a freaking Yu-Gi-Oh dual disc of a morpher.
I feel like that's just a different topic altogether when we get into like cosplay. Exactly. There you go. Like, if they actually continue that over into Jungle Fury, then like, I feel like because then all of them would be some sort of arm-based morpher.
Yeah. And how
cool, but they didn't.
Well,
still, but at the time, like, I was fine with it. I was like,
the only thing.
I was like,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. It's still your turn. Okay. You're good.
Well, the only thing. Okay, going to Geki here. RJ and Dominic's were the only, well, minus the Rhino dagger, because that wasn't a thing.
That's my favorite. Or at least the Rhino.
Well, no, like the morpher he used, like he had the dagger that turned into that morpher, and it's like, okay. But RJ and Dom's, their morphers are straight from Geki, and I'm just like, oh, all right. But RJ was just,
Say it.
I'll admit, he did get on my nerves at first because I hate that type of character. But when his dad came in, and he kind of like shifted modes, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Chooses to be like this.
Yeah.
But going back,
we find out it's like, oh, this is why he is.
Yeah, and then going back to Wild Force, my favorite character, we covered this in the Halloween episode, would be Zanaku, because he was just trying to be himself. He wasn't really wanting to follow Master Orc, he was just wanting to be his own person. And when shows do that, that's what I think is the best thing. Because Mighty Morphin Tommy was evil for the longest time. But then he slowly became good, and like, oh, all right, I see what you're doing there.
I honestly, my honest opinion, I don't feel like he slowly became good at all. I feel like he just like
it was bad, good.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of like how they did it in the comics, because he has a whole like arc of like getting over it and whatnot. And I feel like the best
almost for him.
Yeah, I feel like the best way to read the comic is to watch Green with Evil, like watch Mighty Morphin all the way up to when Green with Evil's over or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was only like 2 episodes that had Green with Evil, and all of a sudden he's on our side now. Like, okay.
I feel like right after that, if you read the comic, it's like such a good way to like start reading the comic.
I need to. I really need to get the
comic. I haven't read that, but I read all of Shattered Grid, and it was pretty good.
I played the game.
Same. I played both of them. Battle for the Grid and I don't play Legacy Wars as much because it's become more of a
paywall.
Very big paywall.
Huge paywall.
I just bought Battle for the Grid because I wanted Power Rangers.
That should be like when we do like a whole episode on like extra media on stuff. But yeah.
Oh yeah, we should get into Power Rangers video games in general. But all right. So I mean, yeah, you know, like. It's what Crimson Talon is saying is, you know, it's like people crap on Wild Force and Jungle Fury and
SPD.
I understand that people hating SPD.
I thought people loved SPD.
I actually don't see as much hate for SPD.
I don't see any hate.
God, did you guys see? Have you guys seen the video on TikTok? This girl had she bought an SPD morpher, and she thought like maybe it was a scam or something like that. She finally got it in the mail. Like if you guys.
Oh wait, and she wants to do SPD Blue.
Well, I think so, but like the video I watched like the other day was her unboxing it, and she was absolutely in tears. Just crying, shaking, tears of joy, just so happy, like over this.
I love those moments.
Oh my god, it was just like the coolest thing. It's like whenever I unbox.
That would be me if I got the Lunar Wolf morpher.
I mean, it's like me unboxing my freaking legacy. It's like me unboxing my Lightning Collection morpher. You know, of course, come to find out that only a couple of the coins work, but I digress.
You're welcome.
The Blue Ranger coin is the only one that I really cared that works, and it works, so we're good. But we're
Thank you for reminding me about that.
Right, we're running a little bit. We're starting to run a little low on time. So last but not least, Springy, what you got for us? You know, you're young. You're one of the younger members of our podcast crew. So you know, I don't think you've ever said who your first Ranger was, who your first experience in Power Rangers was. So start by saying what that was, and then tell us as somebody who's that was your first Power Rangers. What does it compare? Unless your first Power Rangers was Mighty Morphin as well.
Oh, how I used to watch Power Rangers was back when Disney had like the daytime channel and then the nighttime channel called Jetix.
Oh, Jetix.
I loved that. That was my favorite thing. I hated it when they changed it to Disney XD. Anywho, that's a different thing. That's a different podcast. I'll do that on my show or something. If you're counting like as it was coming out, I believe my first one was SPD or Dino Thunder, Mystic Force. One of the three.
Both are good firsts.
Yeah,
Mystic Force.
I think that was one of the first ones. I think Mystic Force was definitely the one where I started really getting into it. Jetix always showed, and even some of the morning Disney. I don't remember what it's called. I think it was just called the Disney Channel. Showed all the different seasons. This was back when obviously Disney owned Power Rangers, so they showed Mighty Morphin, they showed Zeo, they showed Turbo, they showed all the past stuff as well. So I was in the age where I got experience all of them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can still relate to being like, Tommy is my favorite Ranger. This is how I grew up. Okay, so I grew up watching, like I said, like Mystic Force, Down Thunder, all that. I didn't know that Dr. O was Tommy Oliver. There was a whole span of my life that I didn't know they were the same person.
Yeah, when that happened in Dino Thunder, I was like, "Oh, hold on."
It was great, but I definitely me coming in about, I would say about a little bit after the 10-year anniversary or so. I'm definitely that's why I have a different opinion on Operation Overdrive, because that was my fourth Ranger season that I was watching as it was coming out. Some people might not like it, but that was definitely one of the ones that I did enjoy, as even though they had Cold Miser and Heat Miser.
I'm just
I know. But it's Christmas. It's fine. I can make that joke.
Oh my god, he actually said it.
I was just trying to make you laugh.
It's true.
That's the first.
I can see the flaws.
I saw those two.
You're entitled to your opinion.
But again, I was at the time where that was one of the seasons I grew up with. It'd be if somebody was hating on In Space, for example. But that's probably how the kids who grew up with Super Megaforce and Megaforce are feeling right now. They're getting all this media about saying this is the worst season and blah blah blah. But I definitely do. I understand both sides. The side that says Mighty Morphin is the best, which are definitely storyline better seasons like Wild Force and SPD and stuff like that. But that's just my personal opinion. And Mystic Force. I like Mystic Force. But
Mystic Force is beautiful.
And Ninja
Storm really was. I really was.
Mentioned Ninja Storm.
Oh, Ninja Storm.
And Ninja Storm as well. That was also one I grew up with. It was I was in that time period of those seasons, and
I like the way
definitely it was very good in my opinion. Yeah. I think that's the main thing I want to say. It's just there are narratively better seasons than Mighty Morphin, but I do understand why people are this is the best one. This is the one that nobody can compare it to. Because I have a small theory about any time somebody from the first whatever dies. People compare Heath Ledger's Joker to Jared Leto a lot of the time. Because things like that. Give me my point. I'm just bringing it up for a point. I'm bringing it up for a point, okay?
Oh, no, I love it. I absolutely, yes. I love it. Yes. Look, hold up. I gotta get this guy. I gotta get this guy cheering.
Joker.
Hold on, cheering right now. Yes. I pressed the cheering button on the soundbar. You earned that one. Yes. Okay. Anyway, go on.
Okay. So, in my opinion, he wasn't a bad Joker. That's my personal opinion. That's pretty much what the whole episode is. I'm actually not. I've heard other people say this, but how I see this is my theory about why people hate on stuff that is right after the death of this big great person who played this character, is that they're the first after Heath Ledger. That's why Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was right after Heath Ledger. Would he have been as well received as if there wasn't Jared Leto in the middle?
No, because he was criticized.
Now they're comparing.
He was criticized.
Exactly.
They criticized him. They criticized him just like they criticized Jared Leto, and they hadn't even seen the movie yet. And I feel like the unfair comparison with Jared Leto is the fact that his Joker was only created as a background character who honestly had no position or there was no need for him to be in the movie at all.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
There was no need for him to be in Suicide
Squad. Then there was also whenever people are talking about Ben Affleck's Batman being bad. It's the first one after Christian Bale.
I actually loved his Batman.
Excuse me. His Batman was fantastic. He did not need a raspy voice. He used the modifier like Batman is using the cartoons. I am done. I'm sorry.
No,
exactly. Like
fair.
that's my point. Like people were hating on him because he was the first one after what
I hate
everybody saw as the best.
But I see
That's
what
my
your I see
going
what
on
your
with
point
my
is.
Morphin.
I'm seeing the point.
I mean, that was a little bit weirder. But...
I'm very much seeing the point.
Okay, good. I have more examples, but I know we're running low on time.
We're very much running out of time, and I'm gonna push us along to our outro. But yeah, no, those were we did an intro, yes. It's where I yell into the microphone and sound like.
And I call him Goldar every time.
Yeah,
okay, sorry, my brain just forgot.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Eddie is Goldar confirmed. I do the voice. I have done the voice of Goldar ever since I was a little kid. That's been me the entire time. We just had a bigger dude in the suit. They brought me in and they were like, "We just need you to like yell into the microphone," and so it's like little 4-year-old me is, "I'll get you, Power Rangers! You're going down, Tommy!"
I need you to cosplay Goldar now, please.
Lord Zed, I cower before you, even though.
Dude, if you do Goldar, I'll do Zed.
Goldar ever actually called them by their names, or was it just, "I'll get you, Green Ranger"?
He called him Tommy a few times.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. Like there was a couple of times. There was a couple of times where like he would taunt him. He would be like, "Come on, Tommy, you'll never beat me. The Green Candle, Macho Man Randy Savage."
It sounds like it sounds
Eddie.
It's like,
the Green Candle.
If you do Goldar, I will do Rito with you.
You'll do Rita? You'll be
Rita? I'll do Rito.
I just imagined that.
I just pictured. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I just pictured you dressed up as Rita, like with the, and you've got the cones and everything. Perfect.
I said Rito. The brother.
Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna end our.
I am Madonna.
Kryptonite, like I got the.
The Green Candle.
I can't breathe. Okay.
Just like I'm gonna start replacing famous movie lines with Goldar. You got freaking Wizard of Oz. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
Come on,
can you just be? I'll get you, my pretty, and your little coins too.
No, I am your father.
Oh no, that was no.
Wait, no, do Luke's part.
No, it can't be.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. But we're gonna end it. We're gonna end the episode. We're gonna end the episode on a good note. We're ending the episode on a laugh. Look, you guys take our opinions for what they are. Their opinions, okay? If you guys, if Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is your favorite, if Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is your favorite show, do not let our opinions ruin that. If it's your favorite show, let it be your favorite show. Freaking. In fact, if Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is your favorite show, I want to see lightning bolt emojis in the comment section. That's what I want to see. All right, and every time I get a lightning bolt emoji, I will personally heart react it through the YouTube.
And message me.
I will also like it. All of us will like it on all of our channels.
If I see it.
But if Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is your favorite show, that's fine. Absolutely fine. I support you 100%. I'm right there with you as a Power Ranger fan. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. But I want this as an opportunity for people who may need to hear this. Just because Mighty Morphin is your favorite does not give you the right to bash others for their favorites. Even if it is Megaforce and Super Megaforce. That's just the way it is.
Hmm.
We are all Power Ranger fans, no matter what age, no matter what color, no matter what gender, no matter what height, no matter what. We are all Power Ranger fans. We are all Power Ranger fans. And once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
So I thought we were all good at once. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I did not know what's going on.
No, we're not. We are not coordinated enough to do that. So sorry about that.
Did it on the fly.
But
next time.
Next time on Dragon. Anyway.
No, stop that.
But just please think about that, okay? So next time you open up TikTok or YouTube or some social media platform and you see somebody representing their favorite Rangers, instead of criticizing them for liking that Ranger series or criticizing that Ranger series, be like, hey, I'm a Power Ranger fan too. Let's be friends. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's meet up on Discord. Let's form a podcast.
Exactly.
4 nerds.
We already did that though.
Let's form a podcast of 4 nerds ranting about people in spandex. that is our show. Armor. That is our show
sounds
for
like
tonight.
a show.
That is our show for tonight.
Can I do one thing? Can I do a shameless plug for something really quickly?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, so hi everyone. So I'm Springy. I do demon interviews. We've been doing demon reviews, and if you go up there right now, a new episode of Demon Reviews came out for the Legacy Green Ranger Mighty Morphin Green Ranger Power Rangers helmet that's now $600 on Amazon.
What?
You buy it, but I suggest you to go watch that video.
The link to his video, the link to his channel is going to be in the description of this video. So you guys can check it out before or after you watch this episode. It doesn't matter. Unless you're watching, unless you're watching, unless you're listening to this podcast via Spotify or something like that, and in that case, I'll still try to. I'll put the link in the description. I think I can do that. So, but that being said, that is our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for all the awesome love and support that you give us. We love you guys, and we hope you guys have a great night.